Hello. How you doing?
Pretty good. I need 10 on pump one, please.
Where'd you get that mask from?
Well, since we have to wear them and it makes it harder to breathe, this makes it a lot easier to breathe.
Cutting it? Yeah, I'll do that too. Thanks for the advice.
Have you ever seen something so dumb that you had to pause and rewind just to believe it actually happened? From animals causing chaos to people making choices that defy logic. You'll laugh, cringe, and even scream at your screen.
Yeah.
These moments are so ridiculous, it's a miracle someone caught them on camera. Have you ever made a mistake so ridiculous it could have gone viral? Which clip gave you the worst secondhand embarrassment? Join us for 25 dumbest things ever caught on tape.
Hello, Ma.
That's right, you know, everybody has a hobby, right? This is absolutely an incredible story. A simple trip to the grocery store turns into an unforgettable drama in the parking lot. The pictures are incredible. Take a look.
Number 25. Gas nozzle ripped off by oblivious driver. At a gas station in Russia, something went very wrong and very fast. A woman, busy talking on her phone, had just finished fueling her car, or so she thought. Without checking, she hopped back into the driver's seat and drove off. But there was one big problem. She forgot to remove the gas nozzle from her car. As the car pulled forward, the pump hose stretched, snapped, and ripped right off the dispenser. The woman stopped, stepped out, and looked at the dangling hose not with shock or apology, but with total confusion, like the gas pump had done something wrong. This kind of accident happens more than you'd expect. Across the world, gas stations deal with this all the time. That's why most nozzles are designed with breakaway connectors, so if someone drives off, the hose detaches safely without causing a fire or explosion. Gas station workers usually aren't thrilled when this happens, but at least in this case, the security footage was probably good for a laugh. Number 24. Woman cuts hole in mask to breathe better.
You know, we've seen a lot of nominees for the COVIDiot trophy, but this one takes the cake.
In 2020, masks became a normal part of life. Everyone had to wear them to help stop the spread of COVID-19. But one woman had a very unusual way of wearing hers. At a gas station, an employee named Joseph Simon watched a customer walk in wearing a regular face mask with a large hole cut right in the middle. When Joseph asked her about it, she smiled and said it made it easier to breathe.
Hello. How you doing?
Pretty good. I need 10 on pump one, please.
Where'd you get that mask from?
Well, since we have to wear them and it makes it harder to breathe, this makes it a lot easier to breathe.
Cutting it? Yeah, I'll do that too. Thanks for the advice.
Her logic was, since we have to wear them, and it's hard to breathe, this helps. But cutting a hole in your mask kind of defeats the whole point. Masks are meant to block droplets from your mouth and nose. That's how they protect others if you're sick and help lower the risk of spreading the virus. Experts like the CDC said that cloth masks should cover your mouth and nose completely. If there's a big hole in the middle, the mask can't do its job.
So this girl's coming in with her mask on. Y'all need to see this.
Hey, Joe, look at this ghetto-ass mask.
Hello. How you doing?
Pretty good.
Number 23. When 15,000 bees stole his car.
Sent one man sprinting away after returning to his parked car. That's because he came back to this. 15,000 buzzing bees, oh my, hanging from the rear of one of his windows.
In Las Cruces, New Mexico, a routine trip to the grocery store turned into an unexpected wild adventure when a man discovered a swarm of 15,000 bees had taken over his car. After unloading his groceries into his Buick, he was about to drive away when he noticed a buzzing cloud of bees filling up the back seat. Not exactly the road trip he had in mind. The Las Cruces Fire Department quickly responded to the unusual call and secured the area for the safety of shoppers. They then called in an off-duty firefighter, Jesse Johnson, who just happens to be a beekeeper in his spare time. Equipped with a hive kit, lemongrass oil, and proper gear, Johnson worked his magic to safely relocate the bees.
He relocated the swarm. Experts say this isn't uncommon this time of year. Crowded colonies will split as a means of reproduction.
It took nearly 2 hours to remove the swarm from the car and move them to a safer spot on Johnson's property.
Johnson removing the bees in just 5 minutes, taking them to his backyard bee farm where he plans to take care of them.
Meanwhile, a security guard was stung, and some shoppers had close encounters with the bees, but thankfully, there were no major injuries. As wild as it sounds, this isn't something firefighters deal with every day. The community sure laughed, with locals sharing bee puns like BZ Day for LCFD and Beautiful Job. Number 22. Boy squeaks after swallowing toy. In a hilarious mix of bad decisions and an unexpected viral moment, 13-year-old Jonathan Serrano became a human squeaky toy after swallowing a dog whistle. It all started when he was bugging his mom instead of getting ready for a camping trip. While she tried to stop him, he ducked and accidentally swallowed the squeaky toy. Suddenly, every time he tried to talk or laugh, a loud squeak would escape. Jonathan's mom quickly realized something was seriously wrong and rushed him to the emergency room. The doctors couldn't help but laugh at the unusual situation, but they knew they had to act fast. The toy had lodged in Jonathan's esophagus, blocking his airway. Turns out, the human throat can only handle objects up to about 2 centimeters in diameter before causing serious problems. After a quick procedure to remove the toy, Jonathan was back to normal, but his squeaky moments had already gone viral. The teen became a TikTok sensation, with people calling him cute and doctors even asking him to squeak on demand. Although he missed his camping trip, Jonathan learned a valuable lesson about the things you definitely should not put in your mouth. Number 21. Australia's deadly spider sucked into vacuum. In Australia, even the most routine chores can turn into a nightmare. Take, for example, this woman who was just doing a normal vacuuming session in her room. But as she sucked up some dust and debris, she had no idea that she was also vacuuming up one of the most venomous spiders on the planet, the funnel web spider. These spiders are no joke. Their venom is so deadly that it can kill a person in just 15 minutes. Before antivenom was created in 1981, nearly every bite was fatal. So when this woman realized what she had just sucked into her vacuum, her panic was completely understandable. She quickly went into full hysteria mode, and to make matters worse, she didn't feel safe in her own bedroom for 3 days afterward.
So this is from one day when I was vacuuming my room when I was living in Australia, and I vacuumed behind a cushion that was on my floor and sucked up a funnel web spider, which is one of the most deadly spiders in the world.
Honestly, if that had happened to anyone, the natural reaction might have been to burn the vacuum, pack up, and move to a different continent. But this woman handled it better than most. After a brief banishment from her bedroom, she moved on and didn't let it ruin her day. Number 20. Driving with no tire. In 2018, drivers in Newport Richey, Florida, witnessed something that felt straight out of a cartoon. A car was rolling down the road, loud, sparking, and shockingly missing one major thing: a front tire. The entire tire was gone, and the driver kept cruising like it was no big deal. Metal scraped against the pavement as sparks flew behind the car, but the person behind the wheel didn't even slow down. Now, for anyone keeping score, tires are kind of important. They help with steering, stopping, and keeping the car from falling apart. Driving without one is not bold, it's dangerous. It's like trying to eat soup with a fork. Sure, you can try, but it's not going to end well. To make things even more risky, someone was filming the whole scene while driving too. So now we've got one car missing a tire and another person missing common sense. Thankfully, no one was hurt, but the video got people talking and shaking their heads. Number 90. Burglar's pants fall down during flower heist. In 2021, a burglar in Florida became an internet sensation, but not for the reasons he'd hoped. This wasn't your usual high-stakes heist involving cash or jewels. No, this guy had a different target in mind: flower baskets. The criminal, captured by TikTok user DJ Dave's home security camera, decided to steal some hanging plants, specifically petunias. But things quickly took a turn for the worse. While he successfully grabbed the flower baskets, his pants had other plans. Mid-heist, they slipped down to his ankles, leaving him in quite a compromising position. Imagine trying to escape with stolen goods while showing off your... well, let's just say it wasn't pretty. Of course, gravity didn't help him out, and the scene quickly turned from a burglary to an awkward comedy. As he stumbled around, trying to pull up his pants, the police caught wind of the situation and swiftly linked him to 2 other crimes. At least he learned one thing: outrunning the law is a lot trickier when you're mooning the entire neighborhood. And when it's time for jail, he'll get a uniform that stays up. Number 18. She used cheese as soap for days. Ever thought your soap just wasn't lathering up the way it should? Well, one woman took that to a whole new level by using a block of cheese instead of soap. For days, she thought she was using a bar of fancy artisanal soap. In reality, it was just a chunk of cheddar that had been left out a little too long. Cheese, especially cheddar, contains oils and fats that can give your hands a moisturized feel, so in a way, it kind of worked as a moisturizer. But let's be honest, no amount of moisturizing makes up for the fact that you're washing your hands with a snack instead of soap. How did she not notice the difference? Was she really that desperate for a soap alternative? One thing's for sure, when your soap looks like cheese, it's time to take a break and check what you're grabbing off the counter. Number 17. Venomous snake behind the toaster.
Okay guys, we're just here in a home in Rosemount. Now, this is pretty incredible. I came here probably a week ago and the snake was in the laundry and they locked it in. We thought we'd locked in and we searched for over an hour and couldn't find it. And now a week later, we think it's the same snake.
Making toast in the morning is supposed to be simple, right? Unless you're in Australia, where breakfast can come with a venomous surprise. In one Queensland kitchen, a family discovered an eastern brown snake curled up behind their toaster. Yes, behind the toaster. The same place you reach for your morning slice of bread. The eastern brown snake isn't just any snake. It's one of the most dangerous snakes on Earth. Its venom can cause paralysis, bleeding, and even death if not treated quickly. And yet, this one decided the back of a toaster was the perfect hiding spot.
Top of the kitchen bench, hiding behind the toaster. Incredible. Now people say that no, venomous snakes can't climb. I'll tell you what, they certainly can.
Snake catcher Stuart McKenzie was called to handle the situation. The first time, he couldn't find the sneaky snake. But a few days later, the family spotted it again, still chilling in the kitchen. McKenzie returned and found it tangled in the toaster cord. After a few tense moments and a couple of surprise lunges, he managed to safely bag the snake.
Mum said it was from the photo that I sent her. She's the one that had the good look at it. That's... oh, okay.
Yeah, he's over a metre.
Is it a brown?
Yeah, it's definitely an eastern brown.
Oh, great.
Bear with me.
Number 16. Tongue piercing. Stuck in braces. Disaster. Getting braces is one thing. Getting a tongue piercing is another. But having both at the same time, that turned into a full-on disaster for one girl named Maya.
What?
It's stuck to my cake! I can't get out!
It's stuck to your what?
Oh my god. Yeah!
Oh god. Alright, go.
One day, Maya's tongue piercing got caught in her braces. Her mouth was held hostage by her jewelry. Every tiny move risked tearing the piercing or the braces right out. So there she was, frozen in place, trapped in a painful metal-on-metal mess. Tongue piercings usually sit safely in your mouth, but add braces into the mix, and things can go wrong fast. The small metal ball on her piercing somehow hooked onto the brackets on her teeth. And getting unstuck wasn't as easy as gently pulling it off. It took serious effort, some discomfort, and possibly a tool or two to free her tongue. If you've got braces, it might be best to skip extra metal in your mouth until the wires come off. Your future self and your tongue will thank you. Number 15. Man's dentures. Fly out during heated argument. During a loud argument at a pub in England, one woman found herself in a very awkward situation. Her dentures flew right out of her mouth in the middle of yelling.
Carry on!
1 second, she was making her point. The next, her teeth were on the floor. Now, dentures are false teeth that many older adults wear to help them eat and speak. Around 19% of people over 65 wear them, but they usually stay put with something called adhesive, which is kind of like glue for your gums. That day, though, it seemed the adhesive didn't do its job. The moment those dentures popped out, the entire vibe shifted. No one could keep arguing after that. What do you even say when someone's teeth leave the conversation before they do? There was probably a long pause, some awkward eye contact, and maybe even a few giggles. It's hard to stay mad when your opponent is chasing their teeth, because once those teeth go flying, your argument might just fall apart right with them. Number 14. She poured 48 hours of bone broth down the drain. Some kitchen mistakes are small, like burning toast or over-salting soup. But this was the kind of mistake that made you stop and stare at the wall for a few minutes. After spending up to 2 whole days making bone broth, one woman accidentally poured the entire pot down the drain. All of it. Gone in seconds. Now, bone broth isn't just any soup. It's made by simmering bones, vegetables, and herbs for up to 48 hours. That long, slow cooking pulls out nutrients like collagen and minerals, turning it into a rich and healthy broth. It's a labor of love and patience. But after all that work, she made one tiny error. While straining the broth to get rid of the bones, she forgot to place another pot underneath. So instead of collecting the broth, she watched it rush straight down the sink. What? 2 full days of cooking, gone in the blink of an eye. It's the kind of moment that makes you want to cry, laugh, and order pizza all at once. Let this be a reminder. When draining soup, always check where it's going, because even the most careful cooks have their oops moments. Number 13. Tornado sends man chasing his tent at music festival. The Leeds Festival is known for muddy boots, wild music, and rainy skies. But in 2022, it came with a surprise twist. Right in the middle of the weekend chaos, a sudden mini tornado ripped through the festival grounds, turning peaceful campsites into a flying circus of tents and tarps. Wind speeds reached up to 70 miles per hour, strong enough to knock things over and send unsecured tents soaring. And in the middle of it all, a bald man was seen sprinting across the field, arms flailing, chasing his runaway tent like it had stolen his wallet. People nearby were caught between helping and trying not to get blown over themselves.
Oh my god, he's coming back! Shit! No, I can see Mo! Oh my god, I can see Mo!
Now, tornadoes at music festivals aren't exactly normal, especially not in England. But that day, it looked like a scene from a movie. Tents lifted off the ground, sleeping bags tumbled through the air, and grown adults scrambled in every direction trying to save their gear. The moment was caught on video and quickly went viral. While no one was seriously hurt, it is important to always stake your tent down tight, because if the music doesn't blow you away, the wind just might. Number 12. 4-day-old food created monster in microwave. You know those times when you heat leftovers, forget about them, and then go on with your day like nothing happened? Well, one guy took that to a whole new level. He left his food in the microwave for 4 days. Not the fridge, the microwave, for 4 entire days. By the time he remembered, his once delicious meal had transformed into a mold-covered science project. When he finally opened the microwave door, what greeted him looked like it belonged in a horror movie: green, fuzzy, and possibly breathing. Experts say mold can start growing on food in as little as 24 to 48 hours. So yeah, 4 days? Plenty of time for nature to take over. That microwave is no longer a kitchen appliance, it's a mold mansion. Toss it, walk away, and maybe double-check your leftovers next time. Number 11. Tongue stuck to frozen pole.
Now with the 11-year-old who tried to bring that notorious scene from the holiday classic, A Christmas Story, to life, said if his tongue would really get stuck to a pole.
Really
Lara's
happens.
here with more, and Lara, no triple dog dare.
In a scene straight out of a holiday movie, 11-year-old Spencer Klein from Illinois decided to test a freezing cold myth and quickly regretted it. After watching A Christmas Story, Spencer wanted to find out if a tongue sticks to a frozen pole.
This is nuts.
So, while sledding after a big snowstorm near his home, he leaned in and gave a metal pole a lick. The pole didn't just chill his tongue, it locked on like a magnet. Spencer tried to yank it off 10 times, but his tongue wasn't going anywhere. Thankfully, his friend Cole Leeper was nearby and ran to get help. First stop, the nearest house. No hot water there. So Cole asked for the big guns, 911. Spencer's tongue was stuck for about 6 painful minutes. Just as emergency help arrived, he gave one last pull and it peeled off. His tongue was bleeding, and his taste buds were probably still on the pole, but he didn't need a hospital trip. Just soft pizza and a warning. Tomato sauce burns on raw tongue. Now Spencer has one clear message for other curious kids. Don't do it, it's not fun. Number 10. Those aren't blueberries, they're mold. Breakfast started strong. Waffles were toasted. The syrup was ready. And those little blue spots he thought were blueberries. They were not. One man learned the hard way that not every blue dot on a waffle is a sweet surprise. Turns out those blueberries were actually mold, and he had already eaten 2 before he noticed. Here's the thing. Mold doesn't always show up like green fuzz. Sometimes it hides in tiny spots and still packs a nasty punch. Mold grows by sending out enzymes that break down food so it can feed. In this case, that food was his breakfast. And no, scraping it off doesn't fix it, because some molds, like penicillium, can release toxins that stay behind, even when the mold is gone. So not only did he take a bite of something spoiled, but he also gave his immune system a weird challenge it didn't ask for. And let's be honest, his taste buds were probably asking, what did we do to deserve this? Number 9. Dog destroys owner's passport. While making eye contact.
Update now on that story we first told you about yesterday. Chicky's lucky that she's cute. That's what we've been saying. And now listen to this. A couple from Boston is supposed to get married in Italy at the end of the month, but their golden retriever Chicky chewed up the groom's passport last week. So that was the story yesterday.
Getting a dog sounds great. It's all cuddles, fetch, and belly rubs. What no one warns you about is the moment your sweet furball turns into a professional chaos agent. Donato Frateroli had big plans. A wedding in Italy, a romantic trip, a passport ready to go. That is, until his dog, Chicky, short for chicken cutlet, decided it was snack time. With zero guilt and full eye contact, Chicky chewed through the passport like it was a squeaky toy. It wasn't an accident. It wasn't out of hunger. It was personal. "You're not leaving me behind," said Chicky, probably. Donato and his fiancée, Magda, were stunned. Their wedding in Italy was days away. They quickly called their local lawmakers for help. With support from Reporters Stephen Lynch and Senator Edward Markey, Donato got a new passport just in time, only 2 days before takeoff. Chicky didn't face jail time, but did get a pupster passport as a peace offering. Keep your travel documents away from curious paws. And if your dog starts chewing while staring you down, he knows what he's doing. Number 8. Woman gets yeeted by elephant's trunk. Swimming with elephants might sound fun until one decides it's playtime and you are the toy. That's exactly what happened to one woman chilling in the water when an elephant's trunk came out of nowhere and yeeted her into the air like a rag doll. Now, this wasn't some gentle nudge. Elephants have trunks that are stronger than they look. Just one trunk can lift around 770 pounds. That's like lifting a motorcycle with your nose. And with about 40,000 muscles packed into that trunk, it's nature's most powerful noodle. The woman didn't see it coming. 1 minute she was splashing around, maybe thinking about posting a cute video. The next, she was flying through the air thanks to an elephant who thought, "Let's wrestle." She wasn't hurt, thankfully. But that moment proved something important. When an elephant wants to play, humans don't get to vote. Number 7. Car swallowed by River Thames after bad parking job. In London, someone learned the hard way that rivers don't forgive bad parking. The River Thames, known for its powerful tides, claimed a car after its owner parked a little too close to the water's edge, on a slope no less. The Thames isn't just any river. It has tidal zones, which means the water rises and falls during the day sometimes by as much as 23 feet. That's taller than a 2-story house. So if you leave your car down there thinking it'll stay dry, you're offering it up to the sea gods. That's exactly what happened. As the tide came in, the car didn't stand a chance. It slowly slipped down the slope and into the river it went. No tow truck is needed. That car had a one-way trip to underwater parking. Onlookers could only watch as the vehicle slowly disappeared beneath the waves, now part of the River Thames collection. Number 6. His entire KFC order fell on the escalator. The KFC escalator tragedy that hurt everyone's soul. Some moments in life just hit different, like watching your entire KFC order take a slow, tragic ride down an escalator. One man, one bucket of dreams, and one moving staircase created a scene no one will forget anytime soon. He had it all, bags packed with crispy chicken, fries, maybe even a biscuit or two. But as he stepped onto the escalator, something went wrong. His grip slipped, and suddenly there was fried chicken everywhere. Drumsticks tumbled, wings rolled, fries scattered like tiny golden heartbreaks. Now, escalators usually move at about 1 to 2 feet per second. So instead of a quick drop, it was a painfully slow goodbye. People around him watched, unsure whether to help or cry. How did it happen? No one's quite sure. Maybe he tripped. Maybe the bag tore. What we do know is that his dinner plans definitely changed. Number 5. She ripped off all her eyelashes with curler. Let's talk about one of the most painful beauty fails ever. A woman, just trying to level up her lashes with a trusty eyelash curler, ended up ripping off all her eyelashes in one go. She was likely following her usual makeup routine, trying to give her lashes that perfect curl. But whether it was old glue from mascara, too much pressure, or just a bad angle, disaster struck. When she opened the curler, the lashes didn't stay on her face. They stayed in the curler. To make it worse, eyelash curlers already look like tiny torture devices. Now they feel like one too. Eyelashes do grow back, but it takes about 6 to 8 weeks. That's nearly 2 months of awkward regrowth, weird stubble, and probably a lot of sunglasses. In the beauty world, they say, pain is part of the process. But this was a full-blown lash tragedy. Next time, maybe test that curler on a cotton swab first. Or better yet, double-check that your lashes aren't glued to the tool. Number 4. Man's hair dye turns middle finger permanently blue. Hair dye adventures can get messy, but this one left a mark. A woman was in the middle of dyeing her hair a bright blue when disaster struck. Her glove ripped. She didn't notice right away, and by the time she did, it was too late. The dye had soaked straight into her middle finger, turning it a bold Smurf blue. Now here's the twist. Hair dye isn't like regular paint. It's packed with semi-permanent pigments that love to bond to skin. That means no amount of scrubbing or soap will fix it right away. She was basically stuck with a very colorful middle finger for the next 7 days. So every wave, every high five, every hello came with a little extra flair. Whether she meant it or not, her blue finger was speaking louder than words. Always check your gloves, unless you're cool with looking like you've been personally trained by the Smurfs in the art of accidental sass. Number 3. The lasagna drop that broke her soul. There are kitchen accidents, and then there's this. A woman was carrying a homemade lasagna, layers of noodles, sauce, cheese, and effort, when it slipped from her hands and crashed to the floor. The worst part? She didn't yell. She didn't scream. She just stood there, completely defeated. You could hear the sadness in her voice. This wasn't just food. This was her evening, her energy, her plans, all gone in one splat. Now here's what makes it even sadder. A homemade lasagna can take anywhere from 2 to 4 hours to make. That's a lot of chopping, layering, and baking. So when it hit the floor, it was a tragedy. Honestly, it felt like one of those moments you remember forever. Number 2. Passport photo makes woman look like alien for 10 years. Getting a bad haircut is annoying, but at least it grows out. A bad passport photo? That's 10 years of pure regret. One woman found out the hard way when her passport picture made her forehead look extra. Like Super Bowl stadium extra. It wasn't a regular forehead. It was a 6-head. Here's the deal. Passport photo rules are strict. No smiling, no filters, no retakes if you blink weird. Whatever comes out of the camera is what gets printed, no matter how cursed it looks. So, for the next decade, every airport, hotel, or ID check means awkward stares and awkward laughs. And every time she hands it over, she probably feels the need to explain, "I swear I don't look like this." She's not alone though. Bad passport photos are basically a rite of passage. Stay strong, queen. Number 1. Guy's rope. Snaps mid-swing over mud pit. There's brave. There's bold. And then there's swinging over a giant mud pit with a rope that looks like it's seen better days. One guy decided to go full Tarzan, grabbing hold of a weathered rope and launching himself over a pit of thick, swampy mud. Spoiler, it did not end well. Right in the middle of his swing, the rope gave up on life. It snapped. Just like that, gravity took over and dropped him straight into the mud like a soggy pancake. No flips, no fancy landings, just splash. Turns out, ropes don't last forever. They wear down from things like rain, sun, and time. Outdoor ropes especially break down from UV rays and moisture, so unless you check them regularly, it's basically a mud destiny waiting to happen. The worst part is, he looked so confident at the start. Then he got a free mud facial. Some people pay big bucks for that kind of treatment. Thanks for watching. See you in our next video.